EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 8. And some space here. And how about that return as he's all the way inside the 20-yard line.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And incomplete to open things up.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
46. 46.
Prescott from the gun. A dump off to Elliott. Elliott a 1st down and more. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Extra point attempt to come here. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing here, Trubisky. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call PPR?
The receiver still gets a point there, yeah.
Oh,
and you went that far back, no bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Out of the the gun. Trubisky. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And Robinson with a big catch. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
Gotta go.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Let's go. We're on the ball after this.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yard.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. From the red zone now, Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott yet again. Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one, and even 40 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
They still can't get him. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And his first carry, he loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Prescott on 1st down. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
46. Go, get out there, get out there. Under. 26.
Prescott now. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a gain of 6 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. 26.
Prescott to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Gordon. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, This is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. On second down, Elliott. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Gun. Switch is there. Gun.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, here's Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Prescott steps away to his left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Gun. Hey, 47.
Looking to throw. Prescott hits his target. The tight end, Will Tye. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here we go. 49. Here we go. 46. Here we go. 46. Hustle.
A second down throw for Prescott. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd down and 12. Throwing. Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it second down. Trubisky will throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it third down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Lock in, lock in. Lock in, lock in. Shift.
On third down, Trubisky. High throw, but the catch is made. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here we go on fourth down with Trubisky. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A first down carry by Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Second down, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken short. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, gotta go, gotta go.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And, oh, my goodness, he loses it again.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. Looking deep downfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Here we go, 46. Gun. Here we go, get that. Let's go, get out. 26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. He's going to air one out. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go, 1-8. 21's the will. 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And taken at the 46. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning.
Mike,
2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly and for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. So 1:51 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go, 46. Switch and 8. Here we go, 46. Under. 26.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Switching 8. 21's the will.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well.
Here we go, 480. Here we go, 46. Good. Go, get out there, get out there. 46.
On third down, it's Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big gain of 31 on third down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
To throw is Prescott. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile.
Here we go, 46. Good. Here we go, 46. 26.
Now Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. Touchdown, Cowboys! Josh Gordon on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something? You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears? I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut. And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know. I would love to have been in there because
We often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Trubisky. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And now another one thrown incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll indeed go for it with Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. The give is to Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Again, it's Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
It's coming now. Here we go, get back. Let's go, get out, get out.
A give to Elliott. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. On the ground, it's West again. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And this one is right through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Again, it's Howard. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Throwing here, Trubisky. He leaves this one for Howard. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fights him off. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Hey, 18.
Here's Trubisky to throw. So it stays up. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Everyone's got 4 down. 18. Red, up.
They're going to try and throw. Now he's forced out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off Byron Jones. And an alley to run. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is, and this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we've got a backup who's warmed up and has come into the game, so you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Now it's Trubisky. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. The Bears on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Red, up. Hey, 18.
Now Trubisky to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Taco Charlton coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Hey, here we go. 4-8. Go. Get out there. 26.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Lucky 56.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Gone! Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
The Bears on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They're going to look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. So no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Gun!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Bears on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll drop to throw. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now back to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And a decent game there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
You got it! You got it! Mike, check, 59. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
They go to Elliott again. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Gun. Gun. Switch and 8. Then go 47. 26.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And that's Elliott, complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route. Looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. This is Elliott. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poor.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. He's then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Cowboys, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time.
We want back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, no new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake them up, the champs is in, champion. We want back ends, wipe my sins, wipe it, they can't win, no new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake them up, the champs is in, yeah. Wake up, the cake up, raise up, or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you, right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the right for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the white flag, they forfeiting it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you block them all. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Duck, goose, linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossibly. Red zone, this my highlight, my property. Do a quarterback sneak, it's on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the offensive block for me. I step on him down, get off of me. I'm trucking them over, he under me. All back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, no new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake them up, the champs is in, champion. We want back ends, wipe my sins, wipe it, they can't win, no new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake them up, the champs is in, yeah.
I just hate the ball and I look for the open man. The zone, I'm tryna get in. Open the play with the book of the champion. Get flipped if you tryna get in. I got the front defense, they got the end. Going for long, on 1st and the 10. Gotta go hard, we gotta get all. No loss or excuses, cause we gotta win. They say they sleep, must not be a fan. Get at your mans and mess up your plans. Look at your stands and look at your hands. I do what I want and you do what you can. I do it for fans, you do it for fame. EA Sports, we in the game. I am the coach and the player of the game. They gon' remember the name.
We want back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, no new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake them